Right now, after months trapped in a steel plant, Ukraine makes progress in getting more of its citizens to safety.
And our brief feel of spring might turn to summer. We'll take a look.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday and happy Mother's Day. Thanks for joining us on News 3 Now. I'm McKenna Alexander. Let's go ahead and take a look outside this morning. Julian, I don't know what feeling of spring you're talking about because I think we went from winter to summer very fast.
Well, I mean, we're still into the 60s, so it still feels like it's spring here in Wisconsin, even though we are going to be seeing quite a jump, and a dramatic jump at that, just a couple of days. But until then, this is our Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day, everyone who is joining us this morning. And we are seeing clouds already increase themselves into our skies, pretty much blocking our sun, even though we do have a little bit of rays as we're kicking off our Sunday morning. Currently, it's 51 degrees. It's going to be on the breezy side, and folks, expect those windy conditions throughout the course of today. Temperatures in southern Wisconsin are in the 50s for pretty much all of us as we're kicking off our Sunday morning. And as we see for wind speeds in themselves are relatively breezy for pretty much every area throughout southern Wisconsin as well, even for Monroe, as of right now, 20 miles per hour winds. Now, as we plan out the rest of your Mother's Day, here's what we're going to be looking at. Temperatures will be increasing into the 60s by the time we get into around the noon hour, into the early afternoon as well. But we are going to see clouds just stick into our skies throughout the rest of today. But our biggest takeaway of our overview of our Mother's Day, well, we're going to be seeing around 66 degrees for us. It's going to be cloudy and it will be windy. However, some of us may even see a potential of just a pop-up little shower or even a thunderstorm later into today. But that will be very isolated and will be a brief moment as well. What we are watching for is this heat, because going into our Monday, folks, we're going to be seeing heat indexes reach themselves into the 70s, and it's just going to get even warmer into the rest of the week as well. We'll take a deeper look at this in a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. Big international news out of Afghanistan this morning. The Taliban now ordering women to cover their faces or their male guardian will be punished. The Taliban has been criticized for decades for restricting women's rights and freedoms. When the group retook power last year, the Taliban had promised it would maintain women's rights to education, but girls' high schools were shut down in March. To the crisis in Ukraine now. There's a new video out of Eastern Europe. The Ukrainian military says its drone has destroyed a Russian landing craft in the southern part of the country. Officials saying they also hit 2 anti-aircraft missiles. Meanwhile, Ukraine says all women, children, and older adults have been evacuated from a besieged steel mill in the southern port city of Mariupol. But Russia's onslaught continues across a wide swath of the country. Michael George reports.
In Moscow's Red Square, Russian forces rehearsed for Monday's parade commemorating the Soviet victory over Nazi Germany. Vladimir Putin's troops have so far been unable to secure any major Ukrainian city after some 10 weeks of constant bombardments. Saturday, at least 6 Russian cruise missiles hit the area around the southern port of Odessa. Ukraine says more civilians have been evacuated from a steel mill in Mariupol. Ukrainian forces are putting up a resistance there, with the city on the verge of falling entirely into Russian hands. In the east, this woman surveyed the damage to her house after a Russian strike. How can I survive with that, she said. This is my parents' house. My sister lives here. I live here too. People are homeless now, and 2 of our neighbors were killed.
Over 2.5 months, the Russian army has committed numerous crimes against humanity by indiscriminately attacking civilians.
Ukraine's foreign minister is calling for a special justice court to be established to prosecute Russian aggression and other alleged violations of international law. Meanwhile, Ukraine is fighting back. This military footage shows an apparent drone strike on a Russian landing ship near Snake Island. Ukraine is trying to slow Russian efforts to control the Black Sea. Outside Kharkiv, this heritage museum is one of countless buildings destroyed in Russia's war. The museum is dedicated to a Ukrainian philosopher and poet. Michael George, CBS News.
Meanwhile, President Biden is pledging another $150 million in U.S. military assistance to Ukraine. He is expected to talk with President Zelensky during today's virtual meeting of G7 leaders. Here in our area, a local group is doing what it can to help out Ukrainians being forced to leave their country. This week, organizers with Wisconsin Ukrainians are filling a storage unit in Fitchburg with all types of donations, everything from humanitarian aid to medical needs to defense equipment. Once they finish collecting those items, they'll be driven to Chicago and then flown to Poland, where volunteers will distribute all of it.
It's been great. Response been great. Some people are stopping by and saying, I'm sorry, I don't have a lot. But if 100 people stopping by with a little bag of stuff, we have a lot.
If you're looking to donate, the group does have an Amazon wish list. They're also planning more events later this month. You can find more information on the group's Facebook page. In other national headlines, the man accused of last month's mass shooting on a New York City subway is facing 2 serious federal charges. That's according to an indictment unsealed yesterday, reporting that Frank James is facing 1 count of a terrorist attack as well as a firearms charge. Now, James is a 62-year-old man who had been living in Milwaukee. He was arrested April 13th for the shooting, where 29 people were hurt, including 10 by gunfire. Still ahead, a historic project is finished on the UW-Madison campus. We'll hear from Black student leaders on what it means to them. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol. Julian's tracking your forecast just ahead on News 3 Now.
1-800-GOT-JUNK can bring the springtime anytime.
Oh, yes! We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-300-8042. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Credit Associates now and see how much money you could save for free. Call 1-800-300-8042.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Hey everybody, who's coming to the big show? Meet me at Vet Aid, Saturday, June 11th at Ho Chunk Gaming and Casino in Wisconsin Dells for an all-day outdoor event. Come out for classic cars, trucks, and motorcycles during the day and stay for the concert at night. Featuring country superstar Trace Atkins, Runaway June, The Mascot Theory, and Beth Killyman. All benefiting heat and housing for heroes. Visit VetAidWI.com for more details.
1-800-GOT-JUNK can bring the springtime anytime.
Oh, yes! We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
And as we take a live look outside for our Mother's Day, we're going to be seeing plenty of clouds throughout today, especially as they continue to increase throughout the rest of our morning going into our afternoon hours as well. But we'll take a moment and say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers here at Channel 3000. As we go on throughout the rest of today, though, this is what we're going to be expecting for us. Right now, it is 51 degrees, and we are going to be seeing those winds really be on the breezy side throughout the rest of our morning and especially going into our afternoon as well. Temperatures, however, will be be on the up and up. We're going to be seeing back into those mild 60s as we head into our afternoon. Now, here's a quick look at our Mother's Day overview forecast. Is that we're going to be seeing around 66 degrees for us. It will be cloudy skies, and it will be on the windy end, and some of us may even see a shower or a thunderstorm. But overall, we're going to be seeing a pretty decent Mother's Day for us. Now, as we take a look at our surface map, this is what we're going to be looking at throughout the course of the next few hours. We have mild temperatures here in the upper Midwest, especially for us here in Madison and for Wisconsin in itself. However, our friends in Minnesota and for Iowa, we are looking at some showers and even some thunderstorms that are popping up as of right now. So the low is starting to continue to track its way into the upper Midwest, which is also going to be shaking some things up for us as we get into our Monday, which is why we have a chance of seeing some strong or even severe thunderstorms in areas just to the northwest of Dane County or even Madison. And that will be encompassing areas like La Crosse and just mainly northern Wisconsin. But we are still seeing a marginal risk for some of those storms to start to track their way in, but the confidence in seeing those storms going into the later part of tomorrow are very low. Now, here's what we're going to be looking at as one scenario. Going into tonight, some of the storms will try to roll their way into near the Eau Claire area, but then we're going to be pretty quiet going into our Monday morning. And then as we go into our Monday afternoon, we'll start to see a bit more cloud cover start to increase late. But again, that's mainly into the northern areas. Not a whole lot of activity for areas in southern Wisconsin. And then that one quick little line of some storms look to be onto the stronger and even potentially a severe side is, again, outside of Eau Claire near the Rhinelander area. And will, once again, kind of sort of just miss Madison or even Dane County. It's the one scenario that we're seeing to be more likely with the setup that we are seeing as of right now. But if you have any family or friends that are into the central and northern areas of Wisconsin, just make sure that they have their severe weather plan ready to go, as we are still in that slight risk and there still is always that chance. Make sure that you are prepared and ready to go and that you are not reactive to the situation. And then later into the week, well, here's one other thing that we're going to be looking at is that temperatures are going to be on the heat side, as we're going to be bringing in the heat once again to feel a whole lot like summer going in from Monday into our Tuesday. Temperatures, a heat index around 83 degrees by Tuesday, and then as we get into our Wednesday, folks, we're looking near a heat index of 92 degrees here in Madison. So it is going to be hot. Make sure that you're staying hydrated, but you prepare for some summer-like feels heading into next week. Now, this is what we're going to be looking at. Summer-like temperatures coming in from Tuesday into Thursday of next week. 80s are going to be dominating our surface temperatures for the next few days. So once again, stay hydrated, wear light clothing, and just be prepared for some more heat because it wants to skip spring, it seems.
I was waiting and waiting and waiting to bring out my spring dresses for anchoring because I was like, okay, even though it's April, it's 40, so I can't exactly wear bright yellow, right? And then the other day I'm like, well, I guess it's now or never because it's going to be June soon. And
now it's going to be June soon, and June seems to just be here earlier because, hey, second week of May.
This feels like August.
We'll get through it.
Is this going to be your first Wisconsin summer?
I already had my summer.
You did?
Spring.
So, yeah. You didn't really get a spring, I guess.
I know. We're just skipping back to summer again.
You know, that's the good time.
Is it?
Yeah, it's rainy and,
it's humid.
Yeah, well, summer's better.
Okay, fair enough. I'll take your word for it.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Julian. It was more than a year ago when leaders at UW-Madison broke ground on a big new project, a plaza to honor the legacy of the university's black fraternities and sororities. Now that project is finally completed. Smith Manish reports.
So today, we're here celebrating a really big moment, really, for the campus and for the Black Greek community.
When Israel Obi was a freshman at UW-Madison, he felt out of place.
It felt kind of lonely, and I didn't really have a support system.
It was then that he discovered the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, a Black Greek organization.
They just really brought me in and were really kind to me.
The legacy of black sororities and fraternities has gone largely unknown at UW, but today that changed.
It means a lot that we finally get something like this on campus to finally represent who we are.
9 plaques set up in the heart of campus were unveiled to members, alumni, and staff.
On the plaques, we will see history of when we were founded nationally, which is the early 1900s.
They represent our time and commitment to this campus and to especially our organizations.
It took 75 years to have physical representation of these organizations on campus.
It is critical that this campus creates spaces where people can see themselves and be themselves.
But now they're able to have their voices heard.
But this is a great chance for the university to kind of show we do know you, we do see you, and you are cared for.
And the legacy of these organizations are on display for every student who passes by.
You know, we worked hard to improve our visibility on campus, and now we have a big thing here of visibility.
So a freshman never has to feel unwelcome or unseen again.
I'm glad that my future members, any future members of NPHC, get to experience this on this campus.
In Madison, Samantha Benish, News 3 Now.
This project has been 3 years in the making. Organizers say they're excited for the lasting impact it will have on campus. Still ahead, an update on SSM Health's Dean Clinic on Fish Hatchery Road. We'll be right back.
Call for action only on News 3 Now.
When the family can't get enough of your signature dish, get everything you need with Pick and Save free pickup with no surprise fees. So start your cart today. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
This is the purpose-built Ford F-150. It's a beast with brains. It's got, you know what? Skip this video. Go see one at your local Ford dealer.
Get here to know F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for yourself. Then get one your way with a custom order that receives priority, plus an extra $1,000 bonus cash and incentive protection, guaranteeing you the best offer now or at delivery, all on a Ford, built for you, by you. Order your F-150 to lock in a great offer, plus get an extra $1,000 retail order bonus cash.
Things in life are free.
Just wait until he hears about free installation from Feldco.
Free installation? Are you kidding me? Yeah!
Free installation on windows, siding, doors, and roofing. Plus no interest for 1 year. That's something to get excited about.
Free installation ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
He has his grandfather's smile.
Her mother's eyes.
My cheekbones.
But will she have my diabetes?
My sickle cell anemia.
His father's heart disease.
Go to joinallofus.org to share your health information and speed up health research breakthroughs. The future of health begins with you.
You want to feel important, to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
We know. We felt that way too.
And that's why we joined the Army National Guard. Take on your legacy.
Visit nationalguard.com to find out more.
Sure feels good when you get it right. And with the #1 power toothbrush brand recommended by dental professionals, Philips Sonicare makes it easy for you to always get brushing right. Philips.
With the Pick and Save app, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, all for prices that are lower than low. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, taking a look ahead at what we're going to be expecting heading into the new week, well, we do have a slight risk for some areas just about west of Madison that are under a slight risk for strong to severe thunderstorms going into our Monday. And this is what we're going to be keeping our eye on here. Storms are going to be popping off just mainly to the northern areas of Wisconsin later on today. Then we're going to be seeing it really start to quiet out. May see some pop-up showers or even storms today in some areas, again, mainly west of Madison. But overall, we're looking for a pretty quiet Mother's Day. But as we go into our Monday, this is what we're going to be watching. Storms starting to pop off a bit later into the evening hours of our Monday, just north of La Crosse and even towards Marshfield and Rhinelander. But again, it's going to be a small little sliver of those storms that could be strong or even severe that are going to be brief throughout the early night hours going into tomorrow. But even still, we are looking at potential of a severe weather threat for those areas, again, mainly to the north. So for those, just take action and just be ready for any potential severe weather if that scenario were to start to go into fruition. And then other than that, we're also going to be looking at warmer temperatures heading into next week. We'll talk about the summer-like feels in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. Looking around the state, the DNR says fire danger is very high this weekend. While Dane and Rock counties are in the moderate risk, much of our viewing area is at a high or very high risk. The DNR says it has responded to 265 wildfires so far this year, most of them due to debris burning, which is the top cause for wildfires. One of Milwaukee's most popular beaches officially opened for the season this weekend, but some people are being asked to stay away. That's because for the third year in a row, county leaders say there's a lifeguard shortage. The county is still hiring for another 2 months, but applicants must be previously trained, and anyone who doesn't know how to swim is asked to not go into Lake Michigan. Meanwhile, beaches here in Madison won't be open until at least Memorial Day. In more local news, demolition is underway on SSM Health's Dean Clinic on Fitch Hatchery Road. A new state-of-the-art clinic opened earlier this year after breaking ground in July of 2020. SSM presidents told us earlier this year that the current building was 60 years old, and it was important to invest in a new building that's accessible, fresh, and has the services that patients need. There's a half hour of news still ahead here on News 3 This Morning Sunday. Next, we're running through the morning's top stories. We'll be right back.
At JR's Mulch Sales, mulch is all we do, which is why we do it better. We deliver 10 varieties of mulch 7 days a week, right to your door. Call us today.
JR's Mulch Sales, spread it around.
Culver's couldn't have started anywhere but in Sauk City, Wisconsin. Still today, we are a family restaurant. Here, nearby farms grow the food we eat, smiles are contagious, and everyone is someone's neighbor. It's a place where our love of fresh food is as strong as our love for each other. It's a feeling of welcome you'll notice the moment you stop by. Because where we come from has made us who we are, and for that, we couldn't be more proud. Welcome to Delicious.
We're not just massage envy. We're also facials that get your skin glowing envy. We're talking, dang girl, you look good kind of envy.
All right, tell me your secret and lunch is on me.
How does she do it envy?
So what's going on with this?
That's because a regular massage envy facial routine is an amazing way to look and feel better. For that, I still got it going on kind of a feeling.
Must be good genes.
This Mother's Day, buy one 60-minute facial session and get a second session free. Massage Envy Facials, where better begins.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-300-8042. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Credit Associates now and see how much money you could save for free. Call 1-800-300-8042.
At JR's Mulch Sales, mulch is all we do, which is why we do it better. We deliver 10 varieties of mulch 7 days a week, right to your door. Call us today.
JR's Mulch Sales, spread it around.
Just a third of Wisconsin's child abuse and neglect reports get investigated by CPS.
Any child that dies from violence is unnecessary.
Naomi Coast tells you why the state says it's more complex than meets the eye. News 3 Now investigates tonight at 10.
Can't get home in time to watch the news? News 3 Now is always on.
Get Channel 3000 app now so you'll have all the day's top stories in the palm of your hand.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.
Right now, the fight continues over abortion rights. We'll hear from people on both sides of the issue that rally at the state capitol this weekend.
And we have your Mother's Day forecast. We'll give you a look at what to expect coming up.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. And thanks for joining us on News 3 Now. I'm McKenna Alexander. Let's go ahead and send over to Julian Seawright to see what Mother's Day will bring today.
Well, we are having a little bit of sun and more clouds as we're waking up this morning for our Mother's Day. Just know we are going to see an increase in that cloud cover throughout the rest of our morning, getting into our afternoon as well. But our temperatures are going to be on a nice increase as we get into those upper 50s throughout the later part of this morning. Winds will be breezy, however, so expect much of that breezy conditions throughout the rest of today. And as we get into our afternoon, we're looking for temperatures to be back into the 60s once again. For our Mother's Day, we are going to be seeing a high around 66 degrees, but as I mentioned, our cloud cover is going to really blanket us throughout much of our day, so don't expect too much sunshine for us. But we are keeping an eye on some rain that is really just enveloping much of Minnesota and Iowa, and that system is going to continue to track its way into parts of Wisconsin, but we're going to be keeping an eye on whether that holds up, and we'll be bringing in some showers or even some thunderstorms for us as we get into the later part of our Mother's Day. But aside from that, it's going to be relatively dry for today, and especially for the large majority of us. But one other thing we are going to be watching for is going to be into our Monday, as we do have a severe weather risk for seeing some thunderstorms that could be strong or severe, especially areas just west of Madison, as we do have that slight risk and for some of those areas. We'll take a deeper look in this in just a few moments, but until then, back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julie. It's now been 6 days since a draft of the Supreme Court decision was leaked, making it look likely that Roe v. Wade will be overturned this summer. If that happens, abortion in Wisconsin would be illegal. But for the second time in a week, people in our area are taking action and standing up for abortion rights. Talio Molodina joined hundreds of people Saturday in downtown Madison and shares what they have to say.
We are moms in your neighborhood. We are classmates at your school. We are people in your community.
Standing up for abortion. Expecting mother Kate Diamond.
I am pregnant with my second kid. I've had 3 miscarriages and I've had an abortion, and it's terrifying to envision any of that without having control over my body.
Speaking at a rally bringing like-minded people together, many sharing their experiences for a cause.
It just humanizes the reality that so many people in this country do have abortions.
But it's a fight not everyone supports. Joining the hundreds of pro-choice advocates on the square, a much smaller group.
We just want to stand up for truth, what we believe is right, what we know is right.
A handful of UW students celebrating the possible overturning of Roe v. Wade.
From a legal perspective, I'm very happy. I believe that it is in the right of the states, and I also believe that abortion is fundamentally murder.
Many taking issue with their stance.
There are a lot of women who can't afford having a child or in a bad situation. Having a child is one of the worst things that can happen, especially if you don't want one.
But still worried their voice won't be enough to make a difference.
In America, I don't think you'd be able to get the activism that would actually make the decision change in the Supreme Court. But if we could reach that level of activism, that'd be great.
Organizers trying to reassure attendees that it can.
Get energized and realize that we actually do have power collectively.
A Marquette Law School poll earlier this year showed that 72% of Americans oppose overturning Roe v. Wade. An official ruling from the Supreme Court is expected sometime this summer. There were more pro-choice rallies across the country this weekend, including over in Chicago, where Illinois' governor took the mic. Here's what he had to say about its potential impact in Illinois.
And right now, that means that even if the Supreme Court overturns a 50-year-old precedent, abortion will continue to be safe and legal here in Illinois.
In a story last week, we spoke with Planned Parenthood Wisconsin about people potentially crossing the border to get abortions in Illinois. You can find more details on that story over on our website, channel3000.com. Now, while the Supreme Court seems likely to overturn Roe v. Wade, a new poll shows a majority of Americans would oppose that ruling. New CNN polling shows that 66% of Americans believe Roe v. Wade should not be completely struck down by the High Court. 59% say they would support legislation in Congress to establish a nationwide right to abortion. Half say that if Roe fails, they want their state to become a safe haven for women seeking abortion. The polling also shows Americans are concerned about the court restricting other liberties, such as same-sex marriage. But so far, the abortion issue does not seem to be causing any major swings in terms of the outlook for the midterm elections. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is weighing in on the potential decision of the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade. She told CBS Evening News anchor and managing editor Norah O'Donnell it's about more than abortion rights. Janet Shamlian joins us now from Texas with a look at another major issue in this debate, abortions using pills.
A medication abortion is two medications used together to terminate a pregnancy, generally within the first 10 weeks. The pills are taken over 2 or 3 days. It's the most popular option, in 2020 making up more than half of all U.S. abortions.
What are you seeing in terms of demand for medication abortions?
We're seeing a huge increase in demands.
Christy Pitney is a telehealth abortion provider licensed to prescribe the pills in 5 states and the District of Columbia.
Our rights are not.
Medication abortion is seen as the next battleground in the abortion battle. 19 states have already banned telehealth abortions, requiring a clinician be present when the woman takes the medication, including South Dakota. Right now, 2 appointments are required for a medication abortion, one for the initial consultation and one to receive the medication. Some lawmakers want to mandate 3 appointments, the consultation and one for each of the medications. This woman is the clinic director.
Because it is already a very huge lift to have these women come back for 2 appointments, come back after their informed consent, then asking them to come back to finish taking the medication that they have been taking at home safely for years, and there's no medical reason.
In other cases, women are using overseas providers like the Aid Access in Austria, which sends the medication from pharmacies in India. Pitney works with that group and says interest has soared.
Monday was 1,290 visitors. Tuesday was 38,530 visitors. So it's really significant.
Aid Access says many of the inquiries it's fielding over the past few days have been from women who want to get the pill prescribed now, not because they need it now, but in case they do down the road. Janet Shamlian, CBS News, Houston.
And as we continue to learn more about this draft opinion and what it means for the future of our country, you can find the latest developments over on channel3000.com. Still ahead, after a 2-year in-person hiatus because of the pandemic, Guarding Against Cancer returned to the Cole Center this weekend. We'll be right back.
Quality, longevity, selection. These words have been synonymous with the Surgenians and Karastan brands for over 90 years. Save up to 20% on Karastan carpets this month with special financing and rebates. Local, sustainable, Surgenians.
This is how we do it.
At Pick and Save, we believe it takes the right team to bring you fresh produce. That's why we partner with farmers who grow only the best. And that level of teamwork means better, fresher options time and time again. Because working together is truly what it takes to be fresh for everyone. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
It's not an I thing, Dad. It's a we thing.
Yeah, but I ordered it online. I did the taking. I did the baking.
There's no I in team, honey. There is an I in pizza.
Get 25% off after spending $25 when you order online. Papa Murphy's. We make great pizza, so you can make the pizza great.
Such a great deal.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
For you, I wish many things. To see all the world can be. But most of all, I wish you'll never stop wishing.
If you have type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure, you're a target for chronic kidney disease. You can already have it and not know it. If you have chronic kidney disease, your kidney health could depend on what you do today. Farxiga is a pill that works in the kidneys to help slow the progression of chronic kidney disease. Farxiga can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in women and men, and low blood sugar. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may lead to death. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Farxiga and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, an allergic reaction, or ketoacidosis. And don't take it if you are on dialysis. Take aim at chronic kidney disease by talking to your doctor and asking about Farxiga. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Farxiga.
Let Steinhoffels take the guesswork out of designing your new room with our Decorating Solutions design service. Our designers can help you with everything from basic suggestions to a complete room refresh. And during our Mother's Day sale, get a $100, $200, or $400 Steinhoffels gift certificate when you purchase a Decorating Solutions design package. Plus, save 35 to 50% store-wide. Give Mom what she really wants, a new room. Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
And as we continue our conversation of potentially seeing some showers, even some thunderstorms, this is what we're looking at in terms of our scenario for today. As we go in throughout the rest of this morning, the rain in itself or even storms are going to be in Minneapolis or Minnesota or into Iowa as well. But as we go in throughout the later part of this morning, well, we could see some of those rain showers or even some of the system start to try to trickle its way into areas just west near the La Crosse area or even Viroqua as well. But in terms of us seeing anything for tomorrow, well, it's not looking likely throughout much of our Monday, but Monday nights we could see a line of some storms start to roll its way through. However, the storms once again are trying to trick their way just into the northwestern corridor. We'll keep an eye on this, but we'll have more updates coming up in a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. Over the last 6 years, Guarding Against Cancer has raised more than $5 million for research. And after a 2-year in-person hiatus because of the pandemic, the annual fundraiser, created by Greg Gard and his wife Michelle, returned to the Cole Center in full swing. Of course, this year's theme was the Kentucky Derby, with hundreds of people showing up and showing out on Saturday. It was all in support of raising awareness and money for cancer research. The root of this event is something that's very close to Gard's heart. In 2015, he lost his father to cancer, and recently his mother was also diagnosed. So when seeing the support pour in from across the state and beyond year after year, it means everything to him.
It hits home, and I think when people can see that we see something tangible from it. Obviously, Michelle and I have been able to, along with our team from Carbone, have been able to travel around the state and visit different people, but also we've been able to put some money to work in different places aside from the Carbone Center. And when they can see that right in their backyard, helping patients, that really, I think, is a tangible way to show that you are for real in this fight with them.
If you're looking for a new pantry staple, functional sodas may be what you're looking for. In this morning's health conversation, I sat down with Dr. Rupa Shah to learn all about this new trend and if they do what they claim. Today, Dr. Rupa Shah, a family medicine physician with SSM Health and wellness coach, joins us this morning to talk about something you may be seeing on social media and also popping up on store shelves. A new category of soft drink called functional sodas. So, Dr. Shah, what do functional sodas claim to do?
So they've become quite popular recently, especially during the pandemic. The biggest claim that they have is that they can help your digestive health. So there's a couple of popular brands like Olipop, Soul Boost, there's another called Culture Pop. Most of these have some prebiotics and probiotics in them, which we know is good for digestive health, and it adds to the diversity of what we call our gut microbiome. Others of them have a little apple cider vinegar, and some others are actually touted for exercise recovery benefits and have some branched chain amino acids and electrolytes in them as well.
So I think the big question with this is, do they work? Are they actually healthier than other traditional sodas?
Yeah. So they can be, but the jury is still out. They are a good low sugar alternative, which makes them a nice option. But really, you have to read the ingredients and the nutrition label on the back. For instance, one of these brands that was touted to be for exercise recovery had 0 carbs and 0 potassium. So truly, it had no true benefits except a lot of hydration, which is good post-recovery. I warn people, just really be cautious, read the back, and make sure you know what you're getting in them.
So if you're interested in some of these reported health benefits, but maybe don't like the sugar, some other ingredients, what other options are there for people?
Yeah, so one of my favorites, and we've really kind of done a lot in our household during the pandemic, is just flavored fizzy water. So no sugar, low calorie, but it still gives you that fizz that you like. And there's so many different brands and varieties now. There's LaCroix and Bubbly, and then our Wisconsin-based Klarbrunn. So these can be a great alternative for people. If you're looking to cut down on single-use plastic, then getting something like a SodaStream where you can make your own fizzy water with different flavors is also a great option.
All right, great tips this morning, Dr. Shah. Thank you so much. Where can people find you?
So they can find me on Instagram at Wellness with Dr. Shah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Still ahead, Michael Bruno takes us behind the scenes of Janesville Parker's production of Anastasia. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol. Julian's tracking your Mother's Day forecast just ahead on News 3 Now.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
It's Make My Mondays at Hy-Vee. This Monday, get 6 mega rolls of Cottonelle, only $3.99. Powerade, 3 for only $2. Frito-Lay party-sized snacks, 3 for only $10. And Hy-Vee Choice Reserve Filet Mignon is only $6.99. Monday only. For more ways to save on hundreds of items every day at Hy-Vee, check out our monthly catalog, our weekly ad, and scan the QR code to visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Claritin provides non-drowsy symptom relief from over 200 indoor and outdoor allergens, day after day. Feel the clarity and make today the most wonderful time of the year with Claritin Clear.
Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with the best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
The coverage is great.
It was the same, if not better.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get talk, text, and data starting at just $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and get a 100% risk-free guarantee. Call or go online.
Valentino.
By combining all our pieces, this life we live is ours. Just right there.
Born in Roma Fragrances, many ways to be you, and the new Coral Fantasy, Valentino.
Impatience is a virtue. When you know what you want, waiting isn't an option.
UW-Madison, we got now.
Why would Stanton Optical choose a spokesbird? They're not your typical eye care company. I'm not your typical penguin. We're a team. There's no I in eye care. Wait.
Get 2 pairs of glasses plus a free eye exam, anti-glare lenses, and same-day service for only $79.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
And as we're kicking off our Mother's Day, just happy Mother's Day to all the mothers here from us here at Channel 3000. But as we get things rolling for us, we have lots of sun, but we also have some high cloud cover as well as we're kicking off our day. Planning it out, we're going to be seeing cloudy conditions throughout the rest of our Sunday, and temperatures will be into the 60s as well. But here's the overview of our Mother's Day. We're looking for around 66 degrees to be our high, and cloudy and windy conditions are going to be sticking around for us as well. Now, as we take a look at what we're seeing on our surface map, we do have a system that has been bringing in some rain from Minnesota into Iowa, and that low in itself is onto the northern side of a track, so it's going to continue to track itself into the north, which is why we may see some areas later on today that could see some showers or even some thunderstorms, but it's not going to be a very widespread event as it's going to be tricking itself out. Now, we are also going to be looking for that low to be bringing in potential of seeing some showers or storms going into our late Monday night. That's why we have a severe weather risk of seeing a slight risk for some thunderstorms to be strong and or severe heading into tomorrow. And that's mainly going to be Monday nights, because as we play things out for today, well, we're going to see that system which is bringing in rain from Minnesota and for Iowa start to fall apart. Some of it may still bring in some showers, but it's mainly going to be north of Madison. However, some areas could see just a bit of a quick little brief shower. As we go into our Monday, it's going to be relatively quiet, but it will be warm and windy as well. And as we go into our Monday nights, we can see see that one little line of some storms starting to pop its way into central and northern Wisconsin. And that's where we're going to see the focus of that system. It's mainly going to be northwest of Dane County for us, but we are also going to be seeing temperatures heading into next week be much warmer. And not just the temperatures on the surface, but we are adding in some dew points as well, as humidity is going to be on the uprise. So make sure that you are staying hydrated heading into next week, because we're going to be feeling a lot like summer, as we're going to see temperatures into the 80s coming in from Tuesday all the way through next Friday as well. We do have some shots of seeing some showers or even some thunderstorms throughout next week. But for the most part, the biggest takeaway is the fact that we are putting humidity back in our forecast, and it is definitely going to be hot on the surface.
I'm looking forward to it. I know it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid.
It's the Texas in you.
It is. But you know what? I used to be surprised that it was only 86 this time of year. And now I'm like, oh, that's going to be a little hot.
It is a little hot, yeah. I mean, I was kind of warm yesterday with the 60s, but shoosh.
See, that's 80s? The East Coast in you.
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Jillian. The Janesville Parker Arts Academy, focused on the performing arts, is holding its final performance of the school year. The musical Anastasia opened this weekend based on the beloved animated movie. The musical is about discovering who you are and who you're meant to be. Michael Bruno went backstage to check it out.
At its core, this is a story about love, and not just romantically, but finding family and your place and loving yourself as much as others.
Everything I wanted, suddenly so clear, my past and my future so near.
Of course, it's about the famous Romanovs of Russia and the infamous story of Anastasia, who is the daughter that is supposedly still alive. And it's about following the journey of Anya, a girl named Anya, and whether or not she really is Anastasia. You go from Russia, royalty in Russia, the age of royalty, and waltzing and grand ball.
I refuse to hope. I must stop believing I will ever find her.
A lot of hard work and a lot of sweat, a lot of tears. I've actually pulled my hamstring 3 times and had to take some time off. I love confident characters for some reason. They're just like really fun and really, I don't know, there's something about them that just makes me into a different person on the stage, I would say. It's just amazing how it makes me feel.
So it takes you from Russia after the revolution all the way to Paris, and it's flashy and it's fun.
No afternoon card games with the Tsar. No caviar, but I say we're not dead now. We're not dead now, we're in France instead now. Let us not be sad, the night's young, and Russians are mad, so let's live in the...
My character is Countess Lily. She's the Dowager's lady-in-waiting. So she hangs out with her, you know, is always there for her when things get hard.
Let's put on a cruise of old and let's throw our worlds away in Russia, land of yesterday.
What is it about musical comedy that kind of speaks to you as an actor and as a person?
I love just a silly character. I love just getting on stage and letting loose and just doing whatever.
We know the world.
You watch the people that are in the background, not necessarily right up in the front of the big numbers, and they are just as dedicated and just as if they're the star of that number.
We do run our shows on the basis that there is no small role. So an ensemble sometimes is even more important than a lead, and shows are really about teamwork and collaboration throughout the whole. So the ensemble member who maybe is in 1 or 2 numbers does give a lot to those numbers and helps tell the story.
You're a senior this year, so is this your final performance?
It is.
How do you feel about that?
It's bittersweet. I mean, it's been 4 incredible years in this program, and we've built a family here, so it's hard to be leaving that, but I know that I've grown so much in these 4 years, and I'm ready for the next step to continue that growth.
This is my final show because this has been a dream role of mine since like 8th grade. So I think this is a really good send-off. for me.
There's so many storylines along the way and so many connections. There's a villain along the way who wants to, be rid of the Romanovs completely, and it's really wonderful because at the end of the show you get to decide, do you believe, or what do you believe? And of course there's fabulous dancing and wonderful music and the ballet, and it's a lot of fun, and the set and the concept are a little different this time around. It truly will remind you of one of those great Disney stories.
There is a show this afternoon as well as next weekend with tickets just $15. It's at the Parker High School Theater in Janesville. Go ahead and make News 3 part of your weekly routine by downloading the Channel 3000 app for the latest headlines and weather conditions 24/7. But first, Disney fans, this is for you. A look inside one of the largest memorabilia collections when we're back in just a moment.
This is how we do it.
At Pick and Save, we believe it takes the right team to bring you fresh produce. That's why we partner with farmers who grow only the best. And that level of teamwork means better, fresher options time and time again. Because working together is truly what it takes to be fresh for everyone.
To all my neighbors, you got much flavor.
Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
This is Iowa. We just haven't been properly introduced. Say hello to the place where rolling hills meets low bills, where our fields, inside and out, are always growing, and where the fun is just getting started. This is Iowa. So, when are you coming to see us?
At Papa Murphy's, we build your pizza with the freshest ingredients. You take it and bake it fresh in your oven.
So technically, I make the pizza.
At Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza, so you can make the pizza great. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
Summer is here, and with an exciting new Toyota, you can go climbing, paddleboarding, mountain biking, zip lining, camping.
How about napping?
Of course.
Sorry, I'll keep it down.
Right now, you can get 1.75% APR for 48 months on a new 2022 Toyota Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, or Tacoma.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
Incoming!
You don't have to love laundry to love Arm & Hammer Plus OxyClean. It removes microscopic stains and dirt for a deep, hygienic clean.
This is Connie Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. While things have changed, it's still necessary for families to stay connected. And when it comes to the loss of a loved one, it's important to process and grieve and honor your loved one in a way that keeps everyone safe. We're doing this through intimate services and private virtual streaming so your family can be part of the service no matter where they are. Ryan Funeral Homes are here with your safety in mind and compassionate care in your time of need.
Just a third of Wisconsin's child abuse and neglect reports get investigated by CPS.
Any child that dies from violence is unnecessary.
Naomi Coast tells you why the state says it's more complex than meets the eye. News 3 Now investigates tonight at 10.
Monday, we're sounding the alarm for house fire safety in the 608.
I'll tell you how the Red Cross is reaching out to protect one local community's residents in need.
And we are tracking a steamy setup in the days ahead. Join us Monday morning from 4:30 to 7.
Finally this morning, since Disneyland first opened in Anaheim, California in 1955, the park has hosted hundreds of millions of visitors. Many leave with souvenirs of their experience, but one devoted fan went a lot further, amassing one of the largest collections of Disney park memorabilia ever assembled. And now it's headed for the auction block. Omar Villafranca has the story.
There's a feeling that I get every time I go to Disneyland and walk through the gates and see that train come into the station, then walk through the tunnel, and there's Main Street. And I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
Southern California resident Scott Rummel has an obvious love for everything Disney and a special connection to Disneyland.
He's a professional voiceover artist, and back in the 90s, he could be heard every day on the park's PA system.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in just 5 minutes, Fantasy in the Sky fireworks at Disneyland.
Rummel's devotion to Disney was so great that over the years, he decided to bring parts of the park home with him, piece by piece.
Your house was basically
a Disney museum. It really was. People would walk in and say, oh my goodness, this is amazing. We called it the second happiest place on earth.
Rummel's collection grew to a whopping 45,000 items from Disneyland and other Disney parks around the world, acquired from auctions, garage sales, and even former Disney employees. It includes everything from cast member name tags to big-ticket items like vehicles from iconic rides.
So this is a Mr. Toad car from Walt Disney World, and they were rotting away in the Florida sun and rain.
How many tens of thousands of people have probably ridden in this car?
Millions.
Millions.
Disneyland has been a part of Rummel's life since he was a boy, growing up just a few miles away. When he married in 1982, he found a kindred spirit in his wife, Terry.
She had probably 20 Donald Duck items, and she really liked that. And I thought, you know, that would be a fun thing to do together. Why don't we collect not just Donald Duck, but Disney? I started out by anything that had the Disney name on it, lunchboxes, little figurines, whatever.
Just like at the park, all rides must come to an end. The couple wants to downsize their life and move to a beach house. That means it's time to sell what experts call one of the most comprehensive collections of Disney memorabilia that will ever come to market.
The flaws in these actually are what bring them value.
Joshua Benish is a Disney expert at Heritage Auctions, which is conducting the sale later this month.
What makes the park stuff so different than, say, a poster?
You know, there's something tangible about it. There's something real world about it. There's something visceral about all of these things. They're things that were part of your Disneyland experience. You're really selling a tangible memory. You're selling a piece of magic. And that's something that's hard to put a price on.
Just got to keep your hands and arms inside the vehicle at all times.
Some of the other items going up for bid? A gondola that was used at Disneyland and Disney World's now defunct Skyway.
For a lot of people, this was, you're high up above the park, you get to see everything.
This was what my wife asked. Like,
your wife wanted this?
No, what do you want? Where are we going to put this gondola? You know?
A bell that Walt Disney himself used to ring, part of the Rainbow Caverns mine train.
Pulls into the station, you'd hear this.
Your smile just got bigger. You're a kid again.
Yeah, I'm a kid again.
And a car from the Autopia ride, the first car Rummel ever drove. Now, he just hopes his collection of a lifetime will find a way to thrill Disney fans for years to come.
I obviously went a little bit crazy with 45,000 items. I get that, and people are, but I feel like there are so many cool pieces that I just hope that the collection continues to bring joy to people.
Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Dallas.
And once again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, dads that are mothers, grandmas that are mothers, stepmoms, every single mom out there, every mom figure.
Absolutely, and on this Mother's Day, enjoy the weather while we have it, because we are looking for not only the heat, but even some chances of storms throughout much of this week. So expect some summer and even some storms, McKenna.
All right, thanks for joining us this morning. We'll see you back here.